So Jussie Smollett, an actor on the TV show Empire, has recently become a household name, but probably not for the reason he was hoping for. So he came forward a few weeks ago claiming to be the victim of a racist, homophobic hate crime in Chicago that briefly left him hospitalized. The offenders were described as Trump supporters who he said beat him and put a noose around his neck. But new police information seemed to indicate he may have faked the whole thing, and Chicago police have now charged him with filing a false police report. If so, Jussie Smollett may not be the first person caught stroking racial divisions by making things up, but he may be the first celebrity to do it. And worst of all, he'll also have contributed to cheapening the discussion around racism in America today. So why would anyone want to fake a hate crime? Well, today being a victim of discrimination makes you something of a hero. I mean, it's sad, but it's true. Take the NFL's Colin Kaepernick. Regardless of your feeling on his taking a knee during the national anthem to protest, you can't deny he is more famous now than he probably would have ever been as just another football player. I mean, this kind of publicity would be of immense value to, say, a relatively unknown actor. Now, obviously, racism is real and activism against it is justified, but in the US today, it's rarely as in-your-face as Smollett's story made it sound. He claimed his attackers were two white guys in ski masks shouting homophobic and racist insults along with pro-Trump slogans while attacking him with bleach and throwing a noose around his neck. But from the get-go, something seemed a little off. I mean, there are two white dudes in ski masks just prowling the streets at 2 a.m., apparently just looking for black people to assault. Really? And why was Smollett still wearing the noose when he reported the incident 40 minutes after it allegedly happened? Oh well, I mean, who has time for skepticism when there are points to be scored? Democratic presidential candidate Cory Booker tweeted that the vicious attack on actor Jussie Smollett was an attempted modern-day lynching. I'm glad he's safe. To those in Congress who don't feel the urgency to pass our anti-lynching bill designating lynching as a federal hate crime, I urge you to pay attention. So let's assume Smollett was honestly trying to bring attention to a cause he cares about. Making up a hate crime would still be wrong, but at least the intentions are good. I think what's more likely is Smollett saw an opportunity to benefit from the publicity and support that comes from stories of racial victimization today. But racism today doesn't look like it did in the Jim Crow American South. People have jumped on the bandwagon of social justice and activism without even educating themselves about how the face of racism has changed. The racism problem in America today is usually a lot less violent than lynchings, but, usually involving complex relationships at the intersection of government policy, the criminal justice system, and economic inequality. I mean, it's even also more complicated than that. But unfortunately, the political landscape is so polarized now that we create and believe the most juvenile caricatures of the other side. That a Trump supporter in downtown Chicago would be carrying around a noose like a, couple of long ago good old boys. Plenty of people were quick to support Smollett's story. And now that it looks like, it was all made up, there are plenty of people on the pro-Trump side gloating about it as a win for their side. But when the dust settles, Smollett may have done some serious damage to the fight against bigotry, making it harder for actual victims of racism to come forward. I mean, that's not a win for anybody.